I have no doubt this bill is based on socialist dogma. It will reduce choice, it will reduce competition, it will take away parents' freedom to educate at home, ultimately, and I'm against it. And I'll vote against it, and the government will vote for it, and that's how politics in this country works. But how on earth can we look up at the screens and see children's well-being?
What do I know about politics? I know enough about modern-day politics to realise that it's not working here in the UK. Hence, the solution is in the title, reform. Political reform is definitely needed, and it doesn't take the brains of Elon Musk to realise that. What do I know? Now, I do know about national security. I do know about safety. I do know about personal safety. I do know about...
Just moments ago, London's political landscape was rocked to its core as an explosive revelation about Ant Middleton's unexpected bid for mayor stunned viewers live on national television. The city's power corridors now face chaos after a jaw-dropping twist, sending shockwaves from Westminster all the way to every borough. What seemed like a straightforward race has suddenly turned into a thrilling battle full of secrets, betrayals, and a challenge no one saw coming. The future of London's leadership hangs by a thread, and the truth is finally unravelling right before your eyes. Ant Middleton, the former elite soldier turned TV personality, has always been a figure shrouded in a mixture of admiration and controversy. Known for his no-nonsense attitude and fearless approach, Middleton's sudden entrance into the London mayoral race sent shockwaves across the political spectrum. Up until now, his candidacy was viewed by many as a wild card, a disruptor in a landscape dominated by career politicians. But today, the unexpected happened. A live TV expose revealed a twist that threatens to upend the entire election and shake the foundations of London's political arena. In the early hours of the campaign, Middleton positioned himself as a man of the people, promising to bring fresh ideas and uncompromising leadership to a city grappling with soaring crime rates, housing crises, and economic uncertainty. His message resonated with many Londoners tired of the status quo, but insiders whispered doubts about his political experience and motivations. Those doubts were dismissed by his team as baseless attacks, but now, after the latest revelation, those whispers might have been far closer to the truth than anyone anticipated. The live broadcast began with an ordinary interview, questions about policy, vision, and his plans for London's future. But as the conversation progressed, the mood shifted dramatically. A previously unknown source appeared on the screen, unveiling documents and footage that called into question Middleton's alliances and the true backers of his campaign. Suddenly, what looked like a genuine grassroots effort began to unravel, revealing strings pulled from unexpected and powerful corners behind the scenes. According to this explosive evidence, Middleton's campaign isn't just backed by average Londoners, but is allegedly funded and influenced by a shadowy network with stakes far beyond the city's borders. This network, believed to be connected with major corporate interests and controversial political figures, has raised serious concerns about transparency and the direction London might head if Middleton wins. The allegations suggest a coordinated effort to reshape the city's leadership under a new agenda, one that could threaten the freedoms and well-being of millions. The impact of these revelations is already being felt. Political rivals are calling for immediate investigations while public trust teeters on the brink. Social media erupted in a frenzy with hashtags demanding answers and calls for accountability echoing through the digital landscape. Middleton's camp has remained silent for the moment, fueling speculation about damage control behind closed doors. This isn't just a story about one man's ambition anymore. It's about a city at a crossroads. A city where the fight for power is now tangled with questions about influence, loyalty, and the very future of democracy. As the night unfolds in Moz, all eyes remain glued to the unfolding drama, waiting to see who will emerge unscathed and who will be forced to answer for the secrets now exposed under the harsh spotlight of live television. The immediate aftermath of the live TV revelation saw the political landscape in London shift like a sandstorm, unpredictable and dangerous. Suddenly, politicians who once dismissed Ant Middleton as an outsider were forced to confront a reality that threatened to change everything. The networks of influence allegedly backing Middleton's campaign included some of the most powerful and secretive players in the city. People with deep pockets and long-reaching connections who don't usually reveal their cards so openly. Now these hidden alliances were laid bare, and the city's residents were left wondering what is really at stake. For months, Middleton's campaign had projected an image of rugged independence. The ex-Special Forces operative spoke openly about discipline, courage and leadership, qualities he claimed were missing in London's current governance. But behind the scenes, sources revealed the picture was far more complex. Confidential documents leaked during the live broadcast showed meetings and communications between Middleton's key aides and influential figures known for pushing aggressive economic agendas, including controversial real estate developments and policy shifts that could drastically reshape London's social fabric. The city's political watchdogs immediately sounded alarms. Could Middleton's rise mean a tilt towards privatisation of public services? What would happen to vulnerable communities if corporate interests had more sway in city decisions? These questions now dominate discussions as grassroots activists and community leaders rally in protest. London streets, already tense from previous unrest, started to buzz with renewed calls for transparency and justice. The idea that a military man with a media profile could be the front for a powerful elite sparked fears that democracy itself was under threat. Meanwhile, the media frenzy intensified. Reporters and analysts dissected every piece of evidence broadcast live, from cryptic emails to surveillance footage hinting at clandestine meetings in the heart of London's financial district. Each new detail added layers to the mystery, pulling the public deeper into a story that was no longer just about politics but about power, secrecy and survival. Middleton's every move was now scrutinised, and his campaign faced pressure unlike anything seen before in this election cycle. But Middleton supporters aren't ready to give up. Many believe the allegations are a smear campaign designed to derail a candidate who dares to challenge the establishment. They argue that the expose is part of a wider conspiracy to protect the interests of the political elite who feel threatened by a fresh, unconventional contender. Their voices fill social media with defiant messages, promising that this battle is far from over and that the truth will eventually shine through. Behind the scenes, the mayor's office and rival campaigns scrambled to adjust strategies. The unexpected exposure forced quick recalibrations, alliances shifting overnight. Some politicians see an opportunity to capitalise on Middleton's turmoil, while others worry that the fallout could damage London's reputation and stability. The stakes are incredibly high. The next steps taken in these crucial hours could redefine the city's future for years to come. As Londoners watch anxiously, one thing becomes clear. This isn't just a political contest, it's a dramatic, high-stakes struggle for control, with Ant Middleton at the centre of a storm that promises to reshape the capital forever. And with so much still unknown, every revelation brings us closer to a moment that could change everything. On live TV and beyond, the pressure on Ant Middleton is mounting by the minute as the controversy spirals beyond the usual political battles into uncharted territory. Questions about Middleton's true intentions now dominate the headlines, but even more explosive are the implications of the backroom dealings revealed live to millions. For a city like London, where the balance of power is delicate and every decision impacts millions of lives, this scandal cuts deeper than most. As the news broke, insiders leaked that Middleton had been navigating a complex web of promises and alliances long before his public announcement. Sources close to the campaign revealed confidential meetings with influential lobbyists who have historically shaped London's development behind closed doors. These figures, some tied to property empires and financial institutions, reportedly see Middleton as a key to unlocking lucrative opportunities, projects that many fear could push ordinary Londoners out of their homes and neighbourhoods. The shock isn't just in the money or influence, but in the scale of the operation. The evidence suggests a well-oiled machine working to position Middleton not merely as a mayoral candidate, but as a vehicle for a larger agenda. This agenda could reshape London's policies on housing, policing, public spending and more. Critics warn that this is less about leadership and more about power consolidation, with potentially devastating consequences for social equity. The timing of the live reveal couldn't have been more dramatic. It came during a critical phase of the campaign when voter sentiment was shifting and Middleton was gaining ground against seasoned political veterans. Now, instead of building momentum, he's forced into constant defence, trying to reassure the public, while his campaign team scrambles to contain the damage. His opponents, sensing weakness, are sharpening their attacks, framing the controversy as proof that Middleton is not fit to lead the capital. At the same time, public reactions are mixed but intense. Some Londoners feel betrayed, their hopes for change clouded by the suspicion that Middleton's campaign is a facade. Others remain steadfast in their support, convinced that this is just the establishment fighting back against a disruptor who threatens the status quo. This division is palpable in the city streets, online forums, and even in family conversations, turning the election into more than just a political choice. It has become a battleground for the soul of London. Journalists digging deeper have uncovered startling connections that link Middleton's backers to international business interests with controversial records. These revelations have sparked questions about foreign influence and the transparency of London's election process. Calls for investigations into campaign financing have intensified, with watchdog groups demanding full disclosure to ensure that democracy is not compromised. In response, Middleton's team released a statement denying any wrongdoing, claiming the expose is an orchestrated attempt to derail a genuine campaign for change. They insist that Middleton remains committed to the people of London and vows to fight through the storm. Yet the silence on specific allegations only fuels speculation, leaving many wondering what else is yet to come. The drama unfolding around Ant Middleton has become more than a news story. It's a test of London's resilience. As political figures, media and citizens grapple with the revelations, the city stands at a precipice. The decisions made now will echo far beyond the ballot box, shaping not just the next mayor, but the future of governance, trust and power in one of the world's greatest cities. As the scandal deepens, the spotlight intensifies on Ant Middleton's every move. Public scrutiny has transformed this mayoral race into a high-stakes drama, and the tension is palpable in London's political circles. The city's residents are no longer just observers. They are participants in a rapidly unfolding saga that tests the very fabric of their democracy. The question now isn't just who will win the election, but whether the system itself can withstand the storm. Behind closed doors, key figures within Middleton's campaign are reportedly grappling with internal fractures. Sources suggest that some advisors are urging a strategic shift, advising Middleton to come clean and regain public trust before it's too late. Others, however, believe that digging in and fighting the narrative aggressively is the only way forward. This division threatens to weaken what was once seen as a united front, exposing vulnerabilities that opponents are quick to exploit. Meanwhile, political opponents are seizing the moment. Veteran politicians and city leaders who once underestimated Middleton are now mounting a coordinated push to capitalise on the controversy. Their messaging is clear: London needs stability, transparency and leadership. Qualities they claim Middleton's campaign lacks in light of the revelations. Campaign events have turned heated, with debates and public forums dominated by calls for accountability and demands for answers about the alleged shadowy influences behind Middleton's rise. The media continues to play a pivotal role, not just reporting, but shaping the narrative. Investigative journalists are racing to uncover more details, digging into financial records, campaign contributions, and Middleton's personal and professional associations. The city watches as new leaks and revelations surface almost daily, keeping the story at the forefront of public consciousness. For many, this is more than politics. It's a gripping real-life thriller playing out in the heart of London. Public sentiment is volatile. Polls show a sharp dip in Middleton's support, though a loyal base remains defiant. Protesters have taken to the streets, demanding transparency and integrity. At the same time, conversations in cafes, workplaces and homes reflect deep divisions. Some argue Middleton is a victim of a smear campaign designed by entrenched interests, while others see the expose as a wake-up call about the dangers of unchecked power. The consequences of this political earthquake are already rippling through London's institutions. Trust in electoral processes is shaken, and questions about campaign regulations and oversight are louder than ever. Civic groups and watchdog organisations are calling for reforms to prevent similar scandals in the future, emphasising the need for greater transparency and accountability in how candidates run their campaigns and how money flows through political channels. Amid this turmoil, one thing is certain: Ant Middleton's campaign will never be the same. The live TV expose has changed the game entirely, forcing every player in this election to reconsider their positions and strategies. For Londoners, the stakes could not be higher. As this drama unfolds, the future of the city's leadership hangs in the balance, with trust and power at the core of a story that is far from over. As the dust begins to settle on this seismic political shake-up, the City of London stands at a crucial crossroads. The live TV expose has not only exposed hidden truths about Ant Middleton's campaign, but ignited a debate that goes far beyond one man's ambitions. It has forced the city to confront uncomfortable questions about power, influence, and the very nature of its democracy. Londoners are now left to decide what kind of leadership they want for their future. One built on transparency and trust, or one shadowed by secrecy and hidden agendas. The coming days will be decisive. Investigations are already underway, with parliamentary committees and independent watchdogs promising to dig deeper into the funding and affiliations revealed on live television. Political opponents have intensified their calls for Middleton to step aside until these inquiries conclude. Meanwhile, Middleton's campaign faces an uphill battle to restore credibility and convince voters that he can lead a city as complex and diverse as London without being beholden to questionable interests. Beyond the immediate fallout, the scandal has sparked wider conversations about electoral reform. Civic organisations and activists are demanding tighter regulations to ensure that all candidates are held to the highest standards of accountability. There is a growing consensus that without reform, future elections risk being manipulated by powerful players operating behind the scenes, undermining the very foundation of democratic choice. The public's role has never been more critical. Londoners are encouraged to stay informed, question narratives, and hold their leaders accountable. This scandal serves as a stark reminder that democracy is not a spectator sport. It requires vigilance, engagement, and courage from every citizen. The future of London's leadership depends on how its people respond to this defining moment. For Ant Middleton, the path ahead is uncertain and fraught with challenges. Whether he can weather this storm and emerge as a legitimate contender remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: the live TV revelation has transformed the mayoral race into a high-stakes battle, with consequences that will reverberate through London's streets and halls of power for years to come. As the city watches, waits and debates, the final chapters of this unfolding political thriller are yet to be written. What happens next will shape not only who governs London, but also the principles and values that guide its future. A future now hanging in the balance like never before.